story began with Yoluna, who had been drifting ever since the Black Widow's death. Life felt empty, so she drowned herself in missions, working for the bad guys who loved sending her into trouble. Fighting guards was routine, but today was different. She had bigger problems to face. She needed to destroy something locked inside a Roxxon vault, and the thing only opened with a face scan she didn't have. Nearby, a test subject sat trapped in a cage. With no options, she figured blowing up the whole vault would solve it. Yes, there would be collateral damage and all, but she had to do it. Before she acted, a jittery scientist appeared, warning her about the Sentry project and hinting that Valentina already knew the risks. He tried to paint Roxxon as a well-meaning company that just couldn't stop messing things up, but Yoluna didn't buy it. When she heard her line, he panicked and shot a guard by mistake, and then himself. The vault stayed sealed. So Yoluna grabbed the test subject and leveled the building inside, but her contact later called it a success. Meanwhile in Washington, Congressman Barnes stumbled through TV cameras, trying to sound confident about Valentina's removal. Smooth wasn't his strong suit. In court, Congressman Gary opened her trial by botching her name. She corrected him, annoyed, then defended herself with flair. She reminded the room that the Avengers were scattered, and the last president turned into a monster. Someone had to protect the world, and she tried to build a team for that. She acted untouchable, but deep down she scrambled to erase Roxxon ties. Her assistant Mel reported one assassin hadn't finished the job. That assassin, of course, was Yoluna. Yoluna had gone home to see her father, Alex. He was retired in Russia, watching old tapes of his glory days and running a limo service. Surprised but happy, he welcomed her. She admitted she worked with Valentina, though she no longer enjoyed it. Alex understood and gently told her maybe it was time for her own path. Valentina wasn't letting her go that easily. She assigned a new mission: head to a Roxxon base in the desert and take out Ghost. Yoluna entered the base, but instead of Ghost, she found files on the Sentry project. US agent Harbour, ready for a fight. Then Taskmaster joined, and suddenly it turned into a violent merry-go-round. Everyone had someone to kill. In the chaos, they opened a box with a Sentry volunteer. Taskmaster caught a bullet, and the base locked down, trapping them inside. That night, Valentina hosted a flashy party, flaunting Avengers relics to sway public opinion. Congressman Gary mocked the stunt, but she brushed it off. Bucky showed up too, slipping Mel his card, urging her to leave Val and start fresh. Back at the base, confusion thickened. Bucky appeared, but had no memory of why. Ghost tried escaping again. Yoluna stopped her, and slowly the truth surfaced. Val had set them all up, not for a mission, but to erase loose ends. Trust collapsed. Walker, frustrated, got mocked as the discount Captain America. Even Bob laughed along. When Ghost made another run, the screeching door made it clear no one was getting out anytime soon. Back at the party, Bucky slipped aside with Gary. Gary told him the team was close to taking Valentina down, and urged him to trust them. Proof was already in place. Meanwhile, Mel reported in. Val decided enough was enough. She triggered a command, and a countdown started in the weapons room. 2 minutes to escape or be buried. The assassins moved fast. Walker discovered Bob's capsule. Yoluna found the switch, and Walker smashed it with his shield. Ghost phased into the controls and forced the exit open. They bolted out just as the system blew. Yoluna collapsed afterward. Old memories haunted her, especially her first mission when she killed her friend Anna. In the flashback, Bob appeared too, tangled into her guilt. When she woke, he was beside her. On the road, Val laughed at the idea of them teaming up, only to realize they actually had. Reviewing footage, she spotted a strange man among them. That was enough to order Mel to find Holly and finish the job. Alexei overheard everything while driving at the prison. Walker grew restless. Bob admitted he remembered being experimented on, but mostly while unconscious. He wondered if he was the villain. Then he mocked Walker, calling him a fake Captain America. Walker shoved him. Bob's eyes glowed, and Yoluna stepped in before it got worse. Bob admitted the emptiness in him only calmed here. Yoluna told him healing starts once he stops overthinking. Walker cracked a wall, and the group agreed to break out again. Yoluna promised it would be fine. At Bucky's place, he studied Gary's files when Mel called. She warned the Thunderbolts were alive, and if they talked, Val could go down. She asked Bucky to protect her, and even hack her phone. He refused, saying that part of his life was done. Back in the elevator, Yoluna asked if anyone could fly. Walker tried escaping and failed. He looked at Ghost, but she couldn't stay phased long. Bob suggested climbing the walls, joking about some Emperor movie. As they climbed, stories came out. Bob grew up in a broken home. Ghost lived in labs, and Yoluna was trained to kill from childhood. Walker cut in, saying she never learned guilt, which hit harder than she showed. Valentina then learned Bob had been part of the Sentry project. He was supposed to be dead, yet here he was, alive and confused. At the top, the sealed door stopped them. Bob nearly sneezed, blurting out nonsense, and Walker lucked out by using Yolena's staff to open it. They got out, only to find soldiers surrounding them. Ghost ran. Walker claimed he could lead, but no one believed him. Yoluna improvised a messy plan with bombs, blindfolds, and stolen uniforms. Then Holly appeared. She wanted Bob alive, but was fine with wiping the rest. Inside, Yelena and Bob stumbled through darkness. Walker fought soldiers anyway. Yelena handed Bob a weapon, though he clearly didn't know what to do with it. Walker returned in disguise, warning of reinforcements. Together, they suited up and slipped away into the night. Outside the party, the trio spotted Valentina. No time for pleasantries. They swiped a car. Ghost jumped in, and Bob got tossed into the back seat. A soldier stopped them, demanding they remove their masks. John refused, and chaos broke loose. Bob stepped up like a mystery hero, took a bullet, then shocked everyone by flying. Yes, flying. He soared like Superman. If Superman skipped breakfast and blacked out midair, Val ordered him captured. Bob crash-landed in dramatic fashion, wrecking their car and leaving the group stunned. That's when they finally read the stolen files. Bob was part of the Sentry program, designed to create a super soldier with the power of 1,000 suns. Walker already knew the project's reputation and warned how dangerous it was. Even so, they agreed they had to find Bob before Val bent him into her personal weapon. For now, they stuck together and limped back to the city. Walker bought them canned tuna, claiming food bonded teams faster than therapy. By morning, Val sent a unit to collect Bob. She ordered Mel to bring scientists and move him to New York HQ. Mel pointed out the lab wasn't even finished, but Val didn't care. She wanted results yesterday. Far out in the desert, Red Guardian stumbled through the sand, exhausted but determined to find Yelena. Ashamed yet stubborn, he showed up like a worn-out dad who refused to quit. He warned her that Val wanted them gone. Seeing the odd group, he dubbed them the Thunderbolts, a messy, dangerous crew that might actually surprise people if they didn't kill each other first. Before the name could settle, 2 military trucks ambushed them. Yelena shouted at Alexei to speed up, but their beat-up limo barely pushed 50. Alexei slapped together a makeshift weapon out of frustration, but it failed instantly. Ghost phased through to help, only to get blocked. Yelena reached for her gun, but before she fired, both trucks exploded. The Winter Soldier had arrived, taking down the ambush like a warm-up routine. The team cheered until Bucky also trashed their car by accident. Great save, terrible driving. They reached the ruins of Avengers Tower, where Valentina sweet-talked Bob. Mel warned her he was unstable, but Val pressed on, treating him like a broken Lego set she could rebuild. She tugged at his past, even pulling up memories of his father, hoping to twist him around her finger. When she touched him though, she got blasted with her own tragic childhood memory. A father killed by shady friends who then raised her. Dark stuff. Bob told her he could control his darkness, and Val ate it up. She dreamed of turning him into her PR hero. Mel reminded her Bob wasn't Steve Rogers, but Val was already planning photo shoots. Meanwhile, Bucky tied up the Thunderbolts, convinced they were Val's lackeys. They laughed and spilled everything about Bob and the Sentry project. Bucky, stunned, admitted he'd never heard of it. Walker roasted him, mocking his past, while Bucky fired back, exposing Walker's broken family life. Before it got uglier, Mel called with the bombshell. Val was working with the last Sentry. That made Bucky pause. He realized this messy crew might be the only shot at stopping her. He shifted gears, finally trusting them. Mistakes or not, they wanted to make things right. Alexei lit up, ready to go full action dad again. Back at Val's side, Mel got a twisted pep talk. In Val's world, you either play nice or reshape the world by force. She left Mel to choose, already preparing a device to control Bob. Training began. Val flattered Bob non-stop, pumping his ego, while he remained clueless. He was just her puppet. On the road, the Thunderbolts regrouped. Walker complained about his helmet. Alexei teased Bucky about his serum, and Bucky admitted it came straight from Hydra. That revelation killed the mood instantly. The team rolled up to Valentina's headquarters with one plan: take down anyone in their way. Before fists flew, Val made her grand entrance. She mocked the battle-scarred location, bragging that superhero ruins were basically prime real estate. Bucky told her she was done. Val laughed, calling him a washed-up soldier chasing glory. She roasted Walker as the bootleg Captain America, gave Yelena a quick compliment before dismissing her, and had no idea who Alexei was, until he proudly introduced himself as Red Guardian. She just shrugged. The Thunderbolts demanded Bob back and wanted Val locked up, but when Bucky tried to grab her, Bob blocked him with a force field. He looked different now. New style, new confidence, brainwashed by Val's words. Val ordered him to take out the team and rebrand him as the next big Avenger, while painting the Thunderbolts as villains. Bob hesitated, begging them to surrender. Yelena pleaded with him, saying she wanted to save him, not fight. Still, the fight came. Bob crushed them like they were nothing. Walker's shield bent like plastic, and Bucky even lost his arm. The team had no choice but to retreat. Val wanted Bob to finish them, but he refused, questioning why someone like her had control over him. Val tried to boost his ego, but Bob started to think for himself. The team regrouped. Bucky patched his arm. Tempers flared, but Yelena admitted they had already lost. Val had won this round. Broken, they walked away, Alexei trailing his daughter. Bob sat alone, hating his new look, his orders, and Val's leash. When Val pushed too far, he snapped and nearly killed her. But Mel saved the day with a device. Val escaped, and the void inside Bob finally took over. Alexei caught up with Yelena. She confessed life felt empty, her sister gone, her father absent, drowning herself in work and alcohol to forget. Alexei apologized, reminding her he still loved her. He remembered the little girl who once played goalie to protect her friends. Before their moment could settle, the void appeared in the sky, wiping out lives with a gesture. Chaos erupted. The Thunderbolts rushed into action, People cheered as Alexei and Yelena led the charge, with Bucky, Ghost, and Walker backing them. Alexei even saved a girl, only to watch her vanish in an instant. The team retreated to a building. Yelena realized she had no choice. She stepped into the void itself. Inside, she faced endless painful memories. Her friend Anya's death, brutal Red Room training, and the sadness she carried. She found her younger self and tried to comfort her. Bob appeared too, trapped in his own torment, haunted by an abusive father and false promises from scientists. The Thunderbolts broke in to help. They battled twisted versions of Bob's past, until the void tried to crush him completely. Mocked as weak, Bob finally stood tall. Yelena hugged him, not with magic, but with raw truth. He wasn't broken, and he wasn't alone. The void broke. Reality returned. Bob was shaken but alive. Val tried to step back in, but Bob stopped her. Later, at a public event, Val rebranded the Thunderbolts as the new Avengers. For once, the crowd cheered them. Yelena even broke into a goofy dance, and the team smiled, finally ready to own the name.